There was an Australian party where a professor was called on stage for a speech. The professor sings a poem about rabbits and bears. The people feel weird and the lady who called him asks him to go back to his seat. She and the audience were shocked because they didn't expect it from him. When the lady stops him, he cuts her finger. She screams in pain, and the audience from the hall also leaves. The professor was wrapping her finger in tissue when a policeman asked the professor to surrender. He doesn't obey him, and the officer shoots him. The professor was dying and was trying to get his phone. Later, a salesman named Elliot is about to marry, but his boss terminates him when he goes to the office. He says our customers are not satisfied with you. That's why we can't allow you to stay at this job. Elliot has his brother's responsibility because he is a psychopath. Due to his condition, he has to spend a big chunk of his salary on his treatment. He has now lost his job and was worried about how he would manage his expenses and responsibilities. There is a possibility for his brother that he may be sent to the mental institute. Later, he goes to his father and asks for help, but his father never takes responsibility. This time, he says he has lost his retirement funds, so he can't help them. Elliot also has a fiancée, and she is the one with whom he is driven to marry. While driving on the road, a fly was irritating him for a long time, and then he received a call. The man on the phone says, "Don't worry, we have a game show for you. You will become rich if you participate in this game. And in this game, you just have to complete the tasks." Elliot was thinking this man was a scammer, but when he starts to tell him the incidents that are happening in his life, from his childhood events to his mother dying in an accident, he even tells him a fly was irritating him before the call. "It is still in your car." He stops the car and confirms whether someone is spying on him or not. There was no one nearby when the man said, "If you kill the fly that was making fun of you, $1,000 will be deposited into your account." Following the killing of that fly, he discovers on his phone that $1,000 had been deposited into his account. He gets out of the car and can't believe it after being surprised. Again, he was looking for this guy, but he found no one. The man says if you eat this fly, you will be given more dollars. Elliot, who was worried and needed money, goes to his apartment and sees his account details on the computer. He confirms if he got those $1,000 into his account. Elliot crushes the fly in his mouth, and receives a call from that man congratulating him on the completion of his task. The amount was transferred at the same time as well. Elliot asks the man, "Can you follow me even in my house? Can you see what I am doing?" He says, "Yes, I can see you, but you can only get your privacy back when you finish or quit this game." The man tells him the game rules and says you have completed 2 tasks. Now you have 11 tasks left. If you want to play this game, you will be given a huge reward for each task. After failing a single task, all money will be debited from your account. And you can't tell anyone about this game. To officially start this game you will have to say "I will dance with the golden dog." He repeated him, and now he was selected as a contestant. After some time, Elliot receives the call, and he tells him the next task is for $5,000. He has to shed tears from a kid's eyes. Considering it an easy task, he sees a girl who is running toward him, and he says your parents will leave you soon in an orphan house. The girl begins sobbing as the boy makes his best effort to make her cry. She reaches her parents to tell them that Elliot's reward was transferred to his account. He was about to escape because he knew the girl would tell her parents. While on his way to the church to pick up his father, Elliot gets a call from a man asking him to set fire to the nativity scene that the blind children had made there. But while doing it, the church is also set on fire. He takes out his family and rings the fire alarm. $10,000 were transferred into his account as a reward for this task. The girl is shown with her parents who have reached the police station to report Elliot. Now he has to chase a homeless man to steal his clothes, and Elliot does the same thing. The girl was at the police station with her parents, and this homeless person also shows up there. The officer was told everything about him and drew his sketch. They discover it is the same man who has committed all 3 crimes. Now Elliot is in the 6th task. He has to go to a coffee shop with a man from his apartment. After misunderstanding it as an easy task, he goes to the apartment only to find the man dead in the bathtub. He dresses up the man and takes him to the restaurant. The waitress was also shocked as the man wasn't moving. Elliot covers his face, but the police arrive at the restaurant. He had limited time to place the coffee in front of him. The time was passing, but he managed to do it. But now the police were arguing with him, and as the argument heated up, Elliot emerged from the restaurant. The man calls him and he becomes inspired by his skills. Due to it, he was shifted to the 8th level from the 6th. Then he remembers he had forgotten his library card in the restaurant. If he completes all his challenges, the man who is giving him tasks will release him. Later, a bus is shown taking him to an unknown place. The policeman who got Elliot's library card shows this to the detective. He witnesses a man talking to the waitress outside the police office. He questions her. What was he asking? The waitress tells him he was asking about Elliot, and the detective chases the man. The man reveals to the detective that he is investigating this game. Elliot was taken into a room and met a boy from his school named John. His next task was to cut that boy's arm. In high school, he bullied Elliot, but he refrained from cutting the boy's arm because he was afraid the boy would get hurt. He reminds him of how he used to tease him. He takes him to the hospital, where he was given $250,000 for this task. He was going to the practice dinner for his wedding and he was given the task of ruining this dinner. Elliot ruins the party and destroys everything. His fiancée thinks maybe he is doing this to save his brother. His next challenge was to surrender himself and he does the same. During his interview at the police station, the officer shows him his tasks. He is shown some pictures and told, "You did all this, but not all of it was done by you." Then he discovers that many people are given the task of completing this game. He searches for a way out of the jail after the officer has left and used his piece as a weapon. He lost his phone and sees a homeless lady walking on the way. On the other hand, the detective meets a man who tells him that his wife has played this game. Since then, Vogler is searching for this game's owner. Elliot meets the lady and she tells him about his next mission, where he has to hang clothes on a string. He ties a string to hang the clothes and then discovers it passes from the road that can kill many youngsters. They were about to cross the road but he removes the string at the same time. Then he sees another man playing this game at a distance on the road. He has also placed a string in between the road. Moving forward from him, all youngsters die there. Witnessing their dead bodies, Elliot stops this game. He also chases the second player to stop him but the man runs from him in a van. While chasing him, he receives a call. The initiator gives him the last mission to kill his one family member. Elliot throws the phone out of his car and realizes the car is stopped in front of his house. He sees his father sitting in the living room and his psychopath brother in the bathroom. He asks them about the game and discovers that Michael is playing this game. He is about to kill his father to complete his last task. They get shocked when their father tells them that he has played this game many years ago and killed their mother to win the last task. Elliot becomes angry while weeping and is ready to kill his father. But he kills himself and dies so they will not win the game. Elliot doesn't want to win the game by killing his brother and leaves. But his brother Michael points a gun at him and was about to shoot him but Elliot stops him. Due to their fight, Elliot mistakenly shoots, and Michael falls to the ground. He still wants to win the game while dying and was about to stab Elliot with a knife. He dies and as a result, Elliot has completed the task. Now he moves out of the house with a damaged leg and the detective sees him. Here we discover the detective was also playing this game and had murdered Vogler while burning all the pieces of evidence. Then he has come here to burn Elliot's father and his brother. Elliot arrives and shoots the detective. He calls his fiancée in the last scene, and she replies to him that she has received a call from a strange man who asked her to eat a fly. Elliot gets shocked hearing this and before he could say something, the girl says, "I have ignored this man's request." He is relaxed while realizing she is not mad like him. The film ends here. Thanks for watching and keep an eye out for the next movie recap displayed on the screen.